Welcome back to the day 11 and 12 of the Drive-In Exploitation Challenge. I'm combining days because I got in 5 films over 2 days. So I started out with Roger Corman's Sword and Sorcery collection, and I watched Deathstalker 1 and 2. The first one was in 1983, and it clearly tried to parlay the success of Schwarzenegger's Conan the Barbarian movie. It's a low budget ripoff of the Conan movie. Really bad acting, bad dialogue, super cheesy, and loads of nudity. I mean, it was basically young. It's really geared towards young teenage boys. I think it was fun, but don't expect any Academy Award winning acting or anything like that. Barbie Benton is in it. And, I mean, everybody in it delivers their dialogue, and it's not the greatest in terms of acting, certainly. But it was a huge success. I think they only spent like $250,000 on it, and it made millions. So they 4 years later did Deathstalker 2. And Deathstalker 2 is kind of more the same. Lots of teenage boy type, stuff that they would have an affinity for, swords, grappling, titties flopping, that type of thing. Jim McNorski did Deathstalker 2. Nobody in this film looks like they have had any kind of scrape at all. They all have perfectly bouffant hair, and it's just a silly movies. They're fun. They're not great, but they're entertaining as hell. I think there's 2 audio commentary tracks on both those films, which I'll definitely have to get into at some point. Much better was The Mighty Peking Man. I really loved this movie. This is a Shaw Brothers film from '77 that it really looks like it just took the 1933 King Kong script and made it Asian style. You've got a gorilla. You got a group of people that go out and capture this gorilla who has befriended this little Russian beauty here. Her parents, in a plane crash, she was the only one surviving, and she befriended this big ape. And the big ape gets captured along with her and taken back to Hong Kong, where all hell breaks loose. It is a fun, cheesy ride. The King Kong has is a suit, and they didn't even bother on the suit to color in the eye holes so that at least it had the same color as the skin tone of the mask. You can see, you can obviously see it's just a really badly done gorilla mask. And then there's excerpts where they cut to a puppet head of a gorilla. I mean, it's just hilarious. But I tell you, the special effects, if you like Japanese kaiju films, this is going to be a real pleaser for you, because it's got a lot of scenes of the monster stomping around in miniature cities and destroying things. It was a hell of a lot of fun, and I enjoyed it. The dialogue is ridiculous, the acting is ridiculous, and but it's ridiculous in a good way. So yeah, I can't recommend this enough. There is an audio commentary on this '88 film's release, which I'll have to check out. It's a Blu-ray and DVD combo. But I do like these Asian, the '88 films Asian collection that's been coming out. These are fun films. So yeah, that's The Mighty Peking Man. I recommend that one highly. Next up is Something Weird Videos double feature. Sting of Death and The Death Curse of Tartu. Both these films are William Greff, a Jacksonville, Florida filmmaker back in 1966 and 1965. He also did Mako, Jaws of Death. Released these 2 low-budget pot boilers, if you will. And actually, the films have some really decent technical aspects to them. I mean, I think there's a great scene in The Death of Tartu, which is a guy fighting a python. And in the Sting of Death, you've got basically a giant jellyfish man that is chasing down people and killing them. It's hilarious. I mean, they are bad movies. They're kind of dull and plotting, but they are lovable in a lot of respects. You got Frankie Avalon singing "Do the Jellyfish" in the Sting of Death. It's hilarious watching people from the '60s dance to the Sting to the Jellyfish song. It's hilarious. The picture quality is great on this release, and these two films I think have become somewhat of a cult classic, which is why I guess Something Weird put these two out. Both have audio commentaries with the director, which I haven't listened to yet. But yeah, they were a fun time. So I can recommend either of these. Don't expect Academy Award nominations for anybody, but this was good, fun stuff. So that's it for days 11 and 12, and I will be back shortly. I appreciate you watching.